Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, double your bed. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, double your bed. Be yourself, see yourself, this is just show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and knock out blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and knock out blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, double your bed. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is just show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen and knock out blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling, WB. Billies, wake up, Billies. another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake.
Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect on selfishness.
up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion.
This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I'm Nuri Muhammad here on a Thursday, the day after the 10th of September, 2025. We welcome you to the program this morning. You already know that we're
So calling WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just calling. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion, not place. So calling WUB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes are to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, this the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and
Welcome again. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on a Thursday, the 11th day of September 2025. I'm Nuri Muhammad, the host this morning. And as you do know, we have certain steps that we go through. We bring you an update on the weather. This morning, our forecaster is Crystal Rosales. And then we bring you up to date on the news prepared by our news center. Ms. Rosales?
Moist and unstable conditions prevail over the country. In the 24-hour forecast, skies will be mostly cloudy with periods of rain, a few thunderstorms and showers occurring over most places, but especially over the north and central areas this morning. Activity will gradually decrease by this afternoon and then redevelop tonight around the country. High temperatures will reach around 85 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 87 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 83 degrees Fahrenheit in the mountains. For tonight, low temperatures will reach around 77 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and then 67 degrees Fahrenheit in the hills. Winds over the open sea will be from the east at 10 to 20 knots, becoming 5 to 15 knots from the northeast tonight. And then sea conditions will be slight to light chop, while high tides occur at 6:43 this morning and then at 6:19 tonight. Low tides at 12:51 this afternoon and then at 12:17 tomorrow morning. The sun will set at 5:57 this evening and then rise at 5:40 tomorrow morning. And then moonset is at 9:25 this morning and moonrise at 8:58 tonight. And now for the extended forecast. There will be cloudy spells with a few showers or isolated thunderstorms occurring mostly over northern and central areas on Friday morning and then over the south on Friday night. Otherwise, activity will be isolated. And finally, for the tropical weather outlook. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the North Atlantic Basin during the next 48 hours. And this has been this morning's weather report from the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
A Tamales vendor identified as Hernando Pop was fatally stabbed in Bella Vista Village, Toledo. His body, bearing multiple stab wounds, was discovered on Wednesday afternoon in a drain. His motorcycle and cooler were left behind. Police are investigating. As we reported last week, the government of Belize has big plans for the expansion and modernization of the Port of Belize, which has been struggling with infrastructure that has served its time. The plan is for both a container port and a cruise port. According to the Prime Minister, the investment required a US $140 million. A master plan has already been developed, and the government has already held meetings with potential investors, including SS Marine from the United States and Global Port Holding from Turkey. The plan features a concept of building mangrove forest with the excess dredge material. The Prime Minister John Briceño told us that it will span 400 acres across small islands. Ambassador Daniel Gutierrez of the Project EVAC Execution Unit spoke about this plan for an urban nature park at the Belize Investment Summit last week.
Look out for habitat creation, look out for sustainable use of land, look out for connectivity and ecosystems integration, and look out for a better buffer against the ravages of Mother Nature that unfortunately visit with us from time to time. We need to deal with those. How? Belize's largest urban nature park. Some 400 plus acres of mangroves to be planted. This will absorb between 3,000 to 5,000 metric tons of CO2 per year. Ladies and gentlemen, that is like removing well out over 1,000 cars off the road. Another how? No, we will not just go in there and tell people what must be done. We need to go into the South Side and partner with people. We need to partner with our scientific community, with our NGO community, with our people, with our community groups in the South. That must be done. That is a tenet of sustainability. And of course, the idea is to emphasize learning and recreation.
Gutierrez shared what all has been completed apart from the master plan.
In a successful navigation bridge simulation, I'll stick a pin real quick. When we were going through the process of talking to people prior to the start of design, one of the things that was mentioned was a turn by one-man key. Well, the best way to deal with that is once the channel has been designed, you simulate it. So we went to the Star Center in Florida, one of the premier areas to do this in the world, and we brought up people from the Port of Belize, including a pilot. We paired them with captains of some of the world's largest cruise ships, and we simulated that channel movement over and over and over. And I'm pleased to say that it passed with flying colors. That will be made known. That will be in the EIA process. So the ESIA terms of reference have been approved. The wetlands creation concept has been designed. And where are we? What are we looking at now? Stakeholder engagement and community outreach. That has happened before. It's happening now. 2 days ago, we met with the NTUCB, and it will continue happening because engagement is exceedingly important. We, of course, hope that to secure financing in the first part of 2026, and by the third quarter of 2026, we are looking at the first jobs materializing and the start of construction. The realization of cargo benefits by the fourth quarter of 2027, and the realization of cruise benefits by 2029.
The Julian Cho Society is developing a draft concept note for submission to the Green Climate Fund. If successful, it would become the world's first such indigenous-led project. Last month, representatives of the society met with government officials from the Climate Finance Unit, PAC, and the 5 C's for guidance. The Climate Finance Fund is the national designated authority for the Green Climate Fund of Belize. The 5 C's would assist in implementation. We spoke with Pablo Mess, the Executive Director of the Julian Cho Society.
Clear that climate change is impacting the most vulnerable people all over the world, and yet the most vulnerable people are the least to contribute to the emissions that is causing climate change. Similarly, small countries, developing countries, are the least to contribute, yet they are the most to feel the impact. So there's been a global effort to bear on the true actors that are actually causing the most emissions. There's a global effort to do that. And indigenous peoples have been a part of that process. Basically, making the case that if we are not able to get some of the climate financing, get some of the capacity building to communities that are at the forefront, we will never be able to address the issues of climate change. Because climate change does not exist in a silo. There's a ripple effect. The issue of poverty, the issue of marginalization is further aggravated by climate impacts. So we at the Juliancho Society, along with the Toledo Alcalde Association, for at least the last 5 years, have been participating in the UNFCCC COP, which is the mechanism that is actually looking at how to tackle climate change global. And in those engagements, we have been calling for more investment in indigenous peoples in Belize. And when we talk about indigenous peoples, we're talking about the Maya, we're talking about the Erchi, the Mopan, the Yucatec, the Garifuna people. We in fact have also been championing for the inclusion of local communities. And because in Belize, if we're not able to support those communities, then our efforts nationally will not actually pay off. There will be no sustainability. So we have now reached the point where the Juliancho Society and the Maya people of Southern Belize are actually leading the development of the first ever indigenous peoples-led concept note to the Green Climate Fund.
The project focuses on revitalizing the Maya food system, creating healthy forest practices, and revitalizing the Maya system of exchange. Mess described it as a technical and resource-demanding process.
We cannot feed families, or we cannot feed communities, we will never be able to have a chance at innovating and doing other things. The second main area is if we're able to revitalize indigenous food systems, then we will be able to improve our productivity and ecosystem management, which means we will have more healthy forests, more healthy land, more healthy waters, more healthy biodiversity. And then the third element is, if we are able to do all of this, then we should be able to regenerate, revitalize our Maya systems of exchanges. And here we're talking about then being able to tap into investing in the livelihoods, in the entrepreneurship, in the enterprises of communities. That for us is a whole holistic approach to ensure that there is resilience to the adaptation of Maya communities to climate change impact in Belize.
How difficult has it been to put that concept note together? I know you all have experience in terms of getting funds for litigation for the Maya land rights case.
Well, we've been doing a lot of work with communities. We have been implementing along with partners like the WCS Belize, through the UK grant, work related to women in climate adaptation. So we've worked with women in San Lucas, we've worked with women in Otosha, in Corazon. In fact, we gave out thousands of plants after the forest fire. So we do have some experience in that sector of the work. And there are, of course, studies that need to be undertaken. So for the Juliancho Society, we were able to, with the support of the Tenure Facility, who has been a long-standing supporter of the Maya people and indigenous peoples worldwide, we were able to put together a technical team that allowed us to pull together a very bankable idea that we then brought to the government. And the government, seeing that it aligns with the national climate agenda, aligns with Plan Belize, aligns with the sustainable development goals of Belize, have now given its support for us to move forward in advancing that.
Criticism is being heaped on a couple of young police officers who were slow to approach victims of a traffic accident which occurred less than 5 feet from where they were standing at a checkpoint at the Central American Boulevard in Belize City. The incident occurred after 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Surveillance surveillance footage show 3 bicycle riders go past the checkpoint, with the last one passing more to the left of the thoroughfare. That's when an approaching motorcyclist traveling at very high speed hit the bicycle rider, who remained motionless on the street. One of the officers got on his phone while the other moved closer to the bicycle rider and just looked on as bystanders, approached to check on his condition. The motorcyclist is seen getting up and walking to check on the bike rider. We'll have more details when they become available. That's our news package for this morning, the 11th day of September 2025. There's more news coming up about 12 o'clock right after the morning stew, one at 3 o'clock, and a full broadcast at 5:15 on Creme Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the news broadcast at 6 o'clock this evening. It's now 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. We'll take a short break and come back and begin our conversation for today.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
All right, welcome. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. This is a Thursday morning, the day after celebration after celebration. Of course, the Citizens Parade yesterday and the ceremony at the House of Culture, kicking off our 10th of September celebration for 2025. Of course, we still got some more partying to do up until the 21st, which is the Independence Day. And so this is the month of celebration, September. That's what's been designated as our time. Used to be a time that it was only the 10 days going up to the 10th of September. And then it started to become the 10th and the Independence celebration, and then it eventually morphed into the 21st, but we never did let go the 10th of September. And so it's become a month-long holiday period for the country of Belize. Anyway, as I said, we do have a guest coming in, but before that, we'll open the phone line so that you could get in whatever calls and concerns that you have. Number here is 2805848, and you're welcome to call. Perhaps what has been gnawing at me over the last few days is an international issue, which I hope to bring up with our guests this morning likewise. But I'll share with you that this attack on the part of Israel into Qatar, a friendly state, so to speak, friendly in the sense that it has been in the process of trying to negotiate a ceasefire and an end to the conflict in the Gaza, and had welcomed the Israelis to be a part of that negotiation process along with other international bodies like the United States. And for you now to go in and to bomb and attempt to get who you consider your enemy, the Hamas, in that area. And by the way, they did not get the persons that they targeted, which means that they violated the nation of Qatar, as they had done. And this is the issue that's gnawing at me, is how this state of Israel, a member of the United Nations, can in fact violate all these provisions that are the basis of the United Nations, where states in the past have been criticized. They've been peacekeeping groups gathered together at the United Nations to force countries that refuse to comply with the directions given to them by this world body. And they've all adjusted themselves. They've come together to sanction countries that refuse to follow the protocols of the United Nations. But here you have Israel, not only during this conflict, but more blatantly now over the last 2 years, have been violating all these international protocols. Now look here, we have to be interested in this, because we're dealing with a country that has also violated protocols of this country. And we have tried our best to try to ameliorate these misunderstandings and these hiccups with Guatemala. It has not become as aggressive and in the same posture as we've seen Israel do with her neighbors. But there has to be a concern of international law that it would take so long to sanction a country that is violating that international law. And if they are breaking the rules in the eyes of the world, and the so-called superpowers, of which I would put the United States and Europe, is unable to do anything about the rogue nation of Israel. Not only because of some biblical understanding, and I would hope that our Christian brothers and sisters who initially felt that there was a need biblically, religiously, to support Israel in its onslaught against the people of Gaza, and sort of went along with it after October 7th, are now seeing that this policy of the Israelis is clearly not a biblically motivated policy. This is a policy of genocide. This is a policy of ethnic cleansing, of moving 1 million people off of their land, telling them to move off of where you born and grow and move into another area, because we want to clear out this area and completely rebuild it. And we are watching, the rest of us in the world are watching this. And maybe it doesn't bother somebody in another country, but shouldn't it concern those of us who have countries that are claiming our land and saying this land is theirs and taking us to court because they believe that they have a right to our land? Doesn't Israel believe that they have a right to the land of the people of Gaza? Haven't they taken steps to say that we are going to cleanse this land because we believe it belongs to us biblically? And so we are going to do whatever we need to do this. And you had a sizable percentage of the Christian population that went along with this, no questions asked. But now that it has been going on for 2 years, now that you are seeing the blatant attack on hospitals, on schools, on areas now where people were seeking refuge because they destroyed their homes, so they may try get shelter in some of these abandoned buildings. Now they're bombing these abandoned buildings that were used as shelters. Man, how is it that we, beyond just that feeling of complete repulsion, seeing these people suffering the way they are suffering, and that we can't basically do anything about it as world citizens? We just, hope that our authorities would say something. And the biggest authority on the chessboard is the United States of America. And so we would think that this country overall would say, well, hey, Israel, you go too far. Break, stop. But instead, we are seeing a complicit, we don't want to get involved, spunk their hand every so often, say, man, not go too far. Let some humanitarian aid get in there, man. And then sit back, and then the rest of us are just supposed to say, well, So we really come around now to the reality that might makes right. And it is not who is morally right. It's not even who is logically right. It's who has the power that's right. And you better just cool down and make your nice if you want, because if you raise your head in any kind of objective way, we're going to wait for deal with you too. So we've been intimidated. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, my brother, welcome.
Yeah, brother, good morning.
Morning, brother.
To all our brothers and sisters from the diaspora, no?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, that come to Belize to celebrate with us.
Yes,
we
sir.
have to let thanks for everything what they do for we. A lot of people don't say thanks, and then people do a lot of things for we.
Yes.
Our box, barrel, money, all kind of thing they
Yes,
do for we.
yes.
And they got their own problem over there. And they have to do 2-3 jobs to make them things. So we want to always thank them and remember them. Nuri are not subject with Gaza and Israel. Growing up, I was always say, in the Middle East, then people left, then a man. One of the strongest era I was always say growing up. But when I look at what is happening to the people of Gaza and those other countries in the Middle East, some of them try one thing. And let's remember again, in the Middle East, it's one of them countries are one of the richest in the world, richest in the world. A lot of them stand back and they watch this genocide where they happen to the Palestinians. They stand back and watch. They talk and try peace talk. But I believe they have to come together, my brother.
Yeah.
Because they really surprised me by just the talk and talk.
You know,
got all this wealth and watch this where they happen now. Israel, the bomb all of them.
All of them. You look at the last one we get it at Tunis about 2 nights ago. Look here, they have punked out. I don't care whether they call themselves Muslim or not. Those Arab countries in that area have punked out. Here I can tell you why I say they punked out. Because I'm old enough to remember back in the 70s when the King Faisal stood up after Israelis' oppressive conditions with the Palestinians and said, look, we are going to stop sending you oil if you're going to continue with your policy as it is. And maybe some of you are not old enough to remember, certainly most of us are, that in the 1970s we went into what was called an oil crisis. And it was because Faisal and people like Muammar Gaddafi said that if you continue with the policy that you are going now with the killing of these innocent Palestinians and pushing them into camps, refugee camps, we're going to hold back our oil. And as a result of that, the oil prices shot from a minimum. In them days, the oil was like less than $5. Oil immediately shot up to about $20 a gallon, causing a crisis. Why? Because those people were responding and saying to you, America, the United States, the rest of you, you cannot continue to do what you're doing to the Palestinians. Now, look at that now, from the 70s to now, 2025, about 50 years later. Look at the condition. Those nations which still have power over oil are not using the influence of their power to be able to check the power of what's going on right in front of their place.
You know the problem there, brother Nuri?
Yes.
They are weak leaders.
Yes, exactly.
Very strong leaders.
Exactly.
They don't run to open time.
Exactly.
But there was a conspiracy to get rid of their leaders. That's the way it happened. They get rid of their strong leaders. I know when they got there, brother Nuri, a lone man with a fancy man, a fancy coat, fancy car, like building, they change, you know.
Yes,
the whole region changed.
Yes, they punked them out. They punked them out.
So they get staff and fancy. And that's the way they happen at the region because all they tough leaders, but they won't tolerate this.
Precisely, brother.
And they tell you.
That's why they got rid of them.
That's why they got rid of them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Because they're not the troublemakers in the Middle East. But they not stand up to watch this genocide when it happens. But their leaders, when they don't know, I tell you, they're not fancy done. And they look good, nice car, nice change, wealth, got big building. They're a little tolerant, you know?
Yeah.
And it really sad. It's in the Middle East. Right? When I was growing up, I just have to carry news back to primary school or listen to your news. And I remember when it happened at the Middle East, I think all the top leaders, all the Arafat, all the Balade, I think Ayatollah, all of them.
Yeah, Yasser Arafat. They had a man named Yasser Arafat.
Yeah,
we don't remember that.
I remember I have to carry news back. I have to listen to your news afternoon and read one news when I go back to school. All that thing there. And that region, America, and they don't play wrong in that region so easy with their brothers there. But no, China like free for all and come in and do what they want.
Yeah.
And they don't talk. And you watch every day these people they get killed lining up for food.
Yeah, man.
Then they line up for food and then they shoot them down like dogs. And the whole world is watching this happen. Encourage Israel to do this. I say, no man, we have put one stop to this. The United Nations, all of them, we have put one stop to this. We are moving there, we are moving our guys up and we won't, and we have stopped this. Else we have to kill we. But we have put the people on the ground. You know? Then I don't know what happened, brother Nuri. Serious, what happened to we in this world. What are we thinking as one people? You know, because regardless of religion, you know, watch this, the happen bosses are slaughtering innocent people.
Exactly.
Watch the children and they line up for food.
Yeah, man.
Every day you watch a picture how sad they look. Some of them even say better we give up. The young kids, you know.
Yeah, man.
You don't got nowhere else to go, better we just give up. You know, hopelessness. And we watch it and encourage it. And that's why many times I call a show, you might listen to bitterness in me, but they are not the thing that hurt me.
Yeah, man.
Just why I get a tough kind of way, you know. You got some people because they encourage anything to happen. And I don't got no sympathy for them. Serious. Because if you could encourage this to happen, then I don't have no sympathy for you. Where I know I got the power where to do better.
Exactly.
So when things come to you, I then keep. Because you encourage them people after they get slaughtered every day.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people. So it's sad.
It is.
So I don't want none of them to come and tell me nothing. I don't got no love for them. They're in the Middle East right now. They're like some punk. Serious, like some punk.
Yep.
The way they encourage Israel for the slaughter of these people. And the bomb, you know, anytime ready to bomb one of them.
Yeah.
Anytime ready to throw bomb for any one of the country in that area, and they do nothing. All when they do attack.
Yeah.
Get together. We don't come together. Call it a holy war if we don't want to come together and say, no man, you have to kill all of it. You see?
Yeah.
So you take care, brother.
All right, my brother. Yeah, so sober thoughts for this morning. Our guest is here. So let's go ahead and take 2 cents scam with Brick City, sponsored by the Fort Point Security Company. And after that, our guest is already in studio. He's attorney Dicky Bradley.
You're watching WUB and this is XTV. And tamales now a big thing in Belize. Like everybody loves tamales. But now tamales is so popular that they have orange rock tamales, Corozal tamales, and they got Baca creme tamales. Alright? My name is, I can ask you a question. Which tamales you like the best?
I don't know.
Which tamales you like? Who you eat tamales from?
I don't know.
Who you eat tamales from?
Come back by my work.
How you work?
Naka complex.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yes.
All right. Which tamales are the best tamales? Belize tamales, Corozal tamales, Orange Rock tamales?
Corozal tamales is the best one.
Corozal tamales?
Corozal, Orange Rock tamales.
All right.
Oh,
Belize tamales, Corozal tamales, Market tamales? All right. Corozal tamales, Belize tamales?
Corozal tamales, Belize tamales. What are the difference?
Which tamales you like? Everybody loves tamales. You must have
tamales come from Corozal, right? Corozal tamales, Corozal tamales.
All right, good. See there? Tamales you like, pa? Corozal tamales, Belize tamales, or Carmichael's tamales? You don't eat tamales? All right, good. You eat tamales? You eat Belize tamales, Corozal tamales? You eat tamales?
I like it.
Which one you like?
Not too.
Which one you like? Corozal? Belize?
No. Anyone.
Anyone. All right.
I make it by myself.
Oh, all right. You make your own tamales.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I like. They got Belize tamales, Corozal tamales. Where you like tamales from? Tell me, I make your
I
own
like
one.
tamales from Baca creme.
All right. Good.
Nice. The best tamales.
All right. Manisa, you like tamales?
Yes, I like tamales.
Where are your 2 cents? Who tamales you like?
The one behind Creme. Belize and tamales.
No, that real tamales because he sell tamales, you know, but imagine he tamales and somewhere else. Yeah, at least you're honest.
Yes, man. Definitely.
All right, good.
It's September celebration time, and time again to paint up the place and more with the help of Brothers Habet and Habet. Enjoy incredible discounts on our wide selection of vibrant colors from the brands you know and love like 15% off Berger, Penta, and domestic paints, 25% off Berger, Penta, and domestic select shelf and discontinued colors, and up to 50% off clearance paints, and lots more on clearance. We have more savings on favorites like Rhodoplast vats and products, Eureka vats, Hansgrohe faucets and shower valves, all things Moen, mirrors, sunlight windows and doors, Piso Forte tiles, and track batteries. Come in, call or WhatsApp us today for these great deals. Celebrate this September with color and pride. Brothers Habet and Habet wishes you all a happy and safe September celebrations.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, Digi Wallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving, the Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I gave you a hint already that our guest this morning is attorney at law, Dicky Bradley. I don't need to explain to you that whenever there are matters of great controversy in the air, we try to make sure we bring this brother out. Because one thing I can say about Dicky Bradley, he's not afraid to get out of the boat of safety and walk on the water of chance. And certainly, by doing that, he has brought a lot of information out to Belizeans. Because normally we very circumspect, very cowardly, hold back. We talk to each other, but we very rarely talk these things in public. But Mr. Bradley has had a reputation over the last 30 years of coming out in public and saying things that others don't want to say because, call no name. Welcome, my brother.
There is a free morning. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome.
Thanks again for the invitation.
Yeah.
We just celebrated St. George's Key Day yesterday.
One of those days that you have been saying that you have a problem with for about 30 odd years. And,
can I clear that one time with
please,
my haters?
That's the reason I bring it up. Yeah.
I grew up in a home, my mother's parents, and my grandfather was from the sea. When he became 100 years of age, Mandela was kind to carry out an interview with him, which is in the Mandela 100 years after when he was born in January of 1885. Okay. So I grew up in that house. My grandmother, of course, she's a Langsert, she's a Gill, she's family to the Lock and a host of other people who 100% supported Philip Wilson, which included, of course, a preference for the colonial administration and the colonial government. You and I are probably a little on in age that we could remember when the so-called Battle of St. George's Key was being commemorated in Belize. It was a big celebration. Nobody can deny that the songs and the outpouring of patriotism that came from that period has not been duplicated. Independence has not inspired our poets and our songwriters.
Not the same way.
No, nothing could compare to those songs. So those songs are like, to me, they're like Christmas. There is no Santa Claus, but big people still look on a Santa Claus train. Santa Claus is actually, in the words of one poet, a big fat smiling thief that turns up every time it's Jesus' birthday. He makes sure he, along with Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, then go on with your money because that's the way they come from. So although Jesus is a frugal man, Christmas the Bacchanal. So, but my point is this. My grandfather would always say to us when 10th of September is coming around, son, they never got no battle. Why then people go on like that? And so they had no battle. Then he would tell us what his parents and grandparents told him. That yes, the ships came, that in preparation for the ships, they removed the markers from the channel. You can only bring big ships through Belize through the channel between Gulf Key and English Key. The rest of the thing that like your pictures here, the water is shoal. So the ships did come, 30-odd ships from Spain through Mexico did come, and they anchored somewhere in the vicinity of Key Chapel, where the water was able to hold them. Then they disembarked some, and then they rode on to St. George's Key. But when they reached St. George's Key, the then administration had demolished everything, even the water vats, which are so crucial. They took down everything so the Spanish could not use that as a bulkhead, as a landing area, then from they attacked the settlement. They did come to chase the settlers off of the land because, Nuri, there are two things I should mention. One is that the British government entered into a treaty with the Spanish government. The Spanish government owned this area. There's no boundary between anybody. They own the whole area. And so the British asked for permission and was given permission on a regular basis. You could start cut from somewhere in Corozal coming down. When they don't cut the lagoon, they asked for permission to cut further down. They were given permission. These are written treaties. We have copies in the archives in Belmopan that there was to be no permanent structures. You are given permission to cut, you could set up your camp there, you could have any place on the stay, but no, they specified no plantation, you know, start to go no cafe or no sugar or no wide scale or anything like that. These are written things which are available to us. And one other thing which I'll come to shortly. So what had happened then is that yes, they did come to run us off because that is the arrangement under the treaty. You can't set up houses out at St. George's Key, which was like the equivalent of a capital for the settlement, and they disobeyed the treaty. They had come before, they had always come and check, and every time they come, two things happen. One, the minute we hear that they come, we get in for we pit pan and door and we go way up the river. And then come and check home and then go about the business, we come back and life continued. In one occasion, before the battle, it was about 17, maybe 70 odd or so, they came and found people on St. George's Key and they carried everybody. And we have the records, I think it's like 101 white people, 250 odd slaves, and a few free people that we call free men or so. And they were all captured and taken back to Mexico. And of course they wrecked the place.
Cuba.
So yes, there was an attempt to once again run off people off of St. George's Key because back here was on swamp and those things like that. And we did prepare for it. But if the vote was 55 or 50 odd to 50 odd, that's a really a small amount of people who they talk big about. Make us stay and fight. They don't stay and fight, you know. We sent and begged over and over for a whole year. You can see the records. Then they quarreled and they railed up, saying to Jamaica, which was the administrative arm for the British for the little settlement. One of the promises, when we send reinforcements, when we can't send it yet, we're in a bad situation, please. So I may be wrong, but it could be the West India regiment that was sent to Belize along with the ship Merlin may have been a black regiment, but
it was.
It was. No, okay, I stand corrected. Yes. But they came. Because it's big trouble we are fighting, and so 55 people now stay and fight against 30 odd ships. And when I was going to St. Michael's College, I always remember sitting on the veranda for the assembly hall, a big wooden building that was there. St. Michael's College is on Euphrates Avenue now, and it's the same buildings, except I don't see the wooden one. St. John's Primary School is now there. It used to be on Albert Street, not far from St. John's Church. So I remember reading, Evan X. Hyde had come back from university and he had written about this matter. And in that writing, some of the things he is making mention of, I heard from my grandfather.
This is
And the reason why
your own thing.
knocking your own thing, there is a booklet which needs to be reprinted.
That's
you know.
his book. That's
In
his
fact,
thing.
let me just say, some of the poets who gather once a month at the Turton Library to do poetry reading, and I will ask your technician, Alexei, to put up the latest poetry reading, which will take place next week on the 19th. They're doing a fantastic thing there, which hopefully I talk about. Evan X. Hyde, who has been the baddest poet we have produced, nothing to compare to his writings, had written about this matter way back when he was a radical student, come back from the best university in the United States of America. Probably singled out by the CIA to be a future leader that they could keep in contact. Yeah, obviously, clearly. So we have some writings. I brought another one where people who had sat down do research on the so-called Battle of St. John. There was no battle, nobody no shoot at nobody. Nobody get killed, nobody no get injured. But yes, we were prepared to stand and fight against them. We can't deny that. And we were hiding behind the people that came from Jamaica.
If it is not a battle, then why do you think it was elevated from where it was? Because there was something there militarily going on. There were ships there. There were plans there. Why do you think it was advanced to the level?
Well, again, I turn to my my former mentor and hero. He has postulated that, first of all, we need to say this: the so-called Battle of St. George's Key was not commemorated or celebrated in this little territory until 100 years after it happened.
That's why we originally used to call it
the centenary. Yes, they call it 100 years afterwards. And X has suggested several times in his newspaper is that then there were troubles in Mexico where the locals, the indigenous people, the First Nations, got in a big fight with the Mexican conquistadores and their generations. And so a lot of people were running from the war, the caste war in Mexico, coming to Belize. That is why we have traditionally the Hispanic people, our brothers and sisters in Corozal, Orinduak, and Cayo. When you talk to Dan Silva, and he gives you some background of the people there, a lot of them came that route. That is why the two northern places are Hispanics. And so when
not so much Hispanic as much as mestizo.
Mestizo, yeah, I'm using the Hispanic.
Yeah, no, we call them a mixed already, and we may call them Spanish. But,
right, Panya. The British taught us to derogate everybody.
He was crazy.
Then the Panya, our brothers, the Kerobi, we the Kofi, everybody then don't play you.
Don't play you and give you a nickname. But also, and X was the one that also brought this out. There's the significance of what Toussaint Louverture was doing in Haiti in fighting against
that
the
was
French.
a frightening experience.
The Europeans generally, even the French, the Americans, and the Spaniards all had concern about what was going on.
No deadly concerns. I think I was able to get my hand on a book written by William Hague, the guy who was the leader of the opposition in the United Kingdom, almost became the prime minister. He has written extensively about it, and we all know the name William Wilberforce and a lot of people who were against slavery. But slavery ended, according to our own historian who became prime minister of Trinidad, Eric Williams. Yes, his thesis was about that.
Yes, indeed.
It was for economic reasons, and conjointly with the fact that the economic reasons that it's not profitable to have slaves. You better tell them free. When they're going to work, they have to come back home. Then you don't have to buy clothes, you don't have to buy food, you don't have to buy medicine. Then they're on their own. In fact, the reason why we coffee don't have no lot of land and everything is because we were forbidden to have land. When slavery ended in Belize, they don't have no land. So the other thing is that Evan has suggested, and I think younger historians coming up agree, that the British thought it was sensible to start to make the point. No worry about Empire. No such out to sell. Together we, the so-called Bay men, and the then Creoles, the children of, you know, a funny thing, you know, the people who are Creoles, they got white people blood in and they vein, not they, we.
Yeah.
Because we are the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of white men having sex with black female slaves and producing a new set of people. We didn't come from no Mexico or no Caribbean.
Yes.
We born right here.
It's important to make the note that that process is called the creolization process. Therefore, the white Spaniard mixing with the indigenous people of that area also took our people in the north through a creolization process that ended up
mulatization.
Yes, because they then became mestizo and we then became Creole. But people need to understand that we were both indigenous, then we got mixed blood, and therefore our names changed. Our description changed. But we're not going completely.
Right, I just wanted to end that. Yeah, we need to really think name because listen, Richard Bueller, right? We said Bueller, Peter Ashton,
yes,
H.F. Humphreys, I think he became mayor in Dangriga. They wrote several things which is not available to the younger generation.
Which is crazy.
How can the best writer in the country, it's Asad Schumann who had helped to put this together. It's a collection of the writings of Evan X. Hyde. How can we not have, you know, it's the poets then who gather there, they ask me about the book and so look for my brethren. Evan X. Hyde.
Like one young Moses.
Look on that.
Yeah.
Knocking our own thing. Because that is a phrase where you were involved in the times. So people talk about dig it. Got it, brother. How we could lose our identity like that? Let me just raise another thing here. Look, the greatest Belizean that we have produced, George Price. And I'm saying this because of two things. Godfrey Smith has written an excellent historical account of this man. This is an awesome man. You know why? He no man drive home in a no SUV. He no man go on the way they want to go. And you know the PUP, George Price is criticized in the times I'm telling you about before my time, but coming into my time, that George Price is so awesome a human being, right? That every Wednesday, this man was the premier, he was the first of the ministers. There's a picture, I will share it with you, of the first cabinet. I think only about 9 people. Hector Silver from Cayo was in there, Madame Liz, David Mackay, Lindy Rogers, who you and I have said, and we'll say it right now again, to the shame and disgrace to all Creole people in this country, that Rogers Stadium is because of his foresight. He piggybacked on the fact that people who love sports, that empty piece of lot what was there, they started to fill it and use it as a sports ground, and it's Rogers who carried to the conclusion. I saw a picture of his son last week, Lee Raj. I saw a picture of him right at the softball tournament that was taking place there.
I see on the march.
Belize was a softball champion. Can you imagine? We were so the awesome talent that we have.
And where is that today?
So, no man, we Creole have to do better. So Rogers said on him have a picture of a man named have a name on the building.
It's not even
and then Marcus Garvey.
Marcus
Garvey was here in Belize 3 different visits. My grandfather said that when Marcus Garvey went to Governor House, which is by St. John's Cathedral down at Albert Street there, which is now niche or something. When he arrived there and came out, and the governor come with a little helmet looking thing, we're going small feather. Man, when Marcus turned up, Marcus outshined the governor, which in a colonial country is a big thing.
Watch yourself. Indeed.
He left behind Liberty Hall and Barracks Road, which is still there falling apart to the shame and disgrace of every black, every Creole who has gotten into government and not done anything about that place. That should be a place for culture and arts to encourage people to buy. Gosu used to use it as his political thing, but he had skits and little plays, and you had to answer questions.
It was used by the early Muslims. It was used by the UBAD. That's the way UBAD. That was the best place to meet for not only meetings but for party and other things.
We need centers
we should be ashamed
of education. Yes, man. Yes, we should be. I wanted to mention two things about George Price. I used to work in the public service. The best years of my life, I wasted it in an ungrateful institution, but I appreciate the importance of the institution, the public service, and one day I will try to share some of my information. I was the deputy head of a government department, and the rules and the regulations required that as the assistant postmaster general, I have to go to all the post offices in the villages and districts on a rotation basis to see that they follow the rules of collecting money. In fact, my boss, Mr. Charles Hyde, a wonderful human being, made a big jump and a big start. When he saw me the book one morning, he said, "Young Bradley, you find time to read book?" I said, "Yes, boss, I saw so." After that, alone, book with her. I bring book here. He bring book and show me and things like that. Yeah. So, Mr. Price did not approve that I have a government vehicle to do the thing. Instead, they loaned me money. You get they call it an advance. They lend you, say for argument's sake, then they $5,000. You buy the vehicle where you want, but come with the 5. If you could find another 2 or a 3, you put it on and buy your vehicle. When you use it for public purpose, you get what they call a mileage allowance. So much for each mile where you get. You don't have. George Price must say the turnover and engrave the way how this government and the previous government and the future ones which will come could waste up taxpayers' dollars. This is sacred money, This is all there is to help from a country where poor, where people is struggle. More than 50% of the population of Belize are living in poverty.
Absolutely.
And then these people have the face of brass. We got all kind of people riding in a going vehicle.
2020 and 2025.
Of course. Yeah. Tinted and seen all over the place on the holidays and in the evenings and
sometimes we don't like
total thing. One more thing I want to tell your viewers and listeners. Every Wednesday, George Price borrows a room upstairs of what is now the magistrate. Well, it used to be the magistrate court back abroad days. Mm. It wasn't always the magistrate court. In those days, it was the treasury.
Right.
Upstairs, anybody from Kwekesako, Arenal to Pachacan to anywhere in this country can come to Belize City and see the highest elected official without any kind of, you have to go an appointment, you have for this. They come on a veranda and they wait for Mr. Price. He put out benches. Can I tell you something, Nuri? The people who must go to court in Belmopan, the capital of this nation, there's not a bench outside of the buildings that they could sit down on.
Are you serious?
You think that they got a Belize City, they got was it two or bench outside when it rain? Where you think there people going? 1 tent with 2 lever bench. The majority of people have to stand up because the bench no good enough. They don't have a water cooler. If they catch on shit then better find a way if you go shit in the bush. Then that's some bush no far. What part you want people? It's a very serious matter, We take human beings for granted in this country.
Let me stop.
Make I finish this.
All right, go ahead.
Anybody could go see the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister have a piece of him, they want notebook man. Always got notebook in I think. Always the right thing.
Yes.
I wish I had time to give you some stories. I grew up in a country where grandma said a lone lion, a lone fool. And when they pick up a phone like they call, they call nobody because the phone not connected and all kind of things. And so I was in the public service. Much time I call. Oh, Mr. Bradley, so. Anybody could go there and take that thing will happen with Sebastian Pop, where the family don't know who to go to say that they come across and kidnap their son and carry across the Guatemala.
Never happened under George.
That could never happen under George Price. Thousands of things which are happening, right now. There is widespread embezzlement and forgery and stealing of taxpayers' money in the public service. We're not talking about the ministers, they're thieving millions. Within the public service, every day, every week in this country, people are stealing money. Smooth and cool. Because the system has outgrown what is going on, And there are bound to be dishonest people in any group of human beings. Yeah?
That's it.
You can't have 5, 6, 7, 8,000 civil servants and people know they take every advantage to hustle and money. I want to expose one of the hustling way. As a lawyer, we come across it all the time. The government have receipt books, physical manual receipt books. You go to wherever you have to pay a court fine, you want to buy something from the government, you want to pay whatever it is. They write out the receipt. This is the top of the receipt which I give to you. Mr. Nuri Mohammed, $1,000 for so and so and so. The carbon copy, they still use carbon copy, we come from World War I. The carbon copy is not written. There's no carbon in there. So you got your correct receipt. This carbon copy will show $7,000. They put in the $1,000 and they take 6. The carbon copy, they show 7,000. The original, they show 1. When anybody come and check $7,000, check every day, yes, the 6, whatever it is also. And it teach the government whole scale, wide scale in the country because the old system which worked excellently back in the good old days cannot keep up. The Treasury Department, which is now on, can you imagine we are the best place near Chetomal Street and Chetomal Bridge? We don't have no shame. You know there are 4 slave rebellions in Belize, one of which took place after the Battle of St. George's Creek. Our brothers, the real freedom fighters, and the women who supported them and decided that they want to sacrifice and lose their man, that then brother they raise up against the white people in here. It's about the Bayman this and the Bayman glory. The Bayman glory, you know how much pressure I get to write back at Creme, to get on the radio and say, take off Thomas Pastor's name off of the building by Swing Bridge.
I remember you used to do that.
Listen, I had to burn it down. The only way I come and get it out, according to the haters.
By the statute of limitation.
So, how you put Thomas Pastor was a slave master. He was such a wicked human being that he was taken to court and found guilty of mutilating some of his slaves.
By his own people.
Yes, by own white man then, because he's such a wretched, he don't leave Ryan Budna. Yeah. No, only one of a big one. So, I just want to emphasize this. The elected officials in this country, whether they're city councillors, town councillors, village councillors, or at the general election area representative, they don't represent their area, that's a misnomer, it's a wrong name. Need to follow George Price, man. Every 1 day a week, just set aside for the people, no man. Just set aside for the people. You can't do that. We pay you $90,000 in a salary, another $100,000 in a
allowance. How is to dodge the people?
You get elected to look after people. This man who was so humble, listened to everybody. He listened to everybody. Man, why 1 day a week? Why Johnny be saying, okay, I instruct all of them. You open on a clinic and announce that you did it from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5:30 the evening or 6 o'clock.
1 day a week.
Just 1 day a week out of 6. And please go to church on Sunday because an evil, wicked soul need a little bit of redemption. We can't continue the way we go on. The things I'm telling you, my brother, the Treasury Department right here, behind here, they can't keep up with the amount of checks that have to be made every day. They can't, they're overwhelmed. I had clients, I can't go into anything in more details, but it's more than one, different clients and different situations. They made a bogus NGO, non-governmental organization. On paper, there is the, I don't want to say the Nuri Mohammed Foundation. I don't want your name because people misunderstand. Why Nuri made it for fraud to go? Yeah. But it makes something, for argument say, this is Invite Development Corporation. And that goes in with a request that there's a need for patients. So obviously people know what they're doing. And they probably have inside help. And they make out. Nuri, a check for $85,000 was sent to the account for that bogus institution. That come in, they take out, they put in another request. Up to $275,000 was embezzled out of the government money, the taxpayers' money, that people need for scholarship. And this business, wait, make a note, school bag. So, let me tell you, the system that we have It is not working. The people who we elect to help make the country better, they don't have time to even pay attention to that. The system is not working. You hear all this business with crime? We need 2-3 dozen investigators. We need them people where they upstairs at Queen Street where the ceiling they fall down and then they can't use the room. I took some pictures and I expose it, but I don't want to get people in trouble. At the back of the Queen Street police station, the people who did at CIB, Crime Investigation Branch, they're unhappy, they are demoralized for simple minor thing. They are conditioned, not the work. You know minor? Because Belize only hot now thanks to white people who have destroyed the atmosphere. Belize they get hotter because you know guys have conditioning in our enclosed office. It has been exposed to the shame of the minister and the government that the Raccoon Street police station is infested with mold. They get wet when it rains. You see this rain here, they can't work this morning and then they have to go get plastic bag, garbage bag to put over the computers and to protect things. That is how those people have been working for years. For years. How do you get maximum? How do you get optimum? How do you get the best production from human beings when you treat them like that? Huh? So I don't want to go any further.
I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you one kind of fish from river bottom question.
And hospital got mold.
Because what you have been talking about and what you are talking about now has been going on for years. It was even going on when you were in government. So I want you to give me now an insider understanding of what happens when you're campaigning with one mode, you're promising you will do so and so, you're cursing the government to say, well, we make sure when we get in there, we not do that.
Think they stop. No?
And then when you get in there,
not me personally, I mean.
We need to talk about
that period.
I'm using the fact that you have been inside. You know what it's like to sit around the cabinet and have these guys say, well, guess what? We're not spending enough time with our constituency. We're not following George Price's way of doing things. What happens in that cabinet room?
Well, it's a secret. It's a large. You know that.
Indeed.
I want to say something because when you say you don't mean me personally.
No.
Let me just tell you this.
We need people from inside
to
come in a way.
Listen, I don't have a problem.
We need a whistleblower, man.
Let me start here. Big respect to a man I met. I might have my criticism. I have my own views. But overall, maximum respect to Said Musa.
Okay.
I always saw him and found him to be first and foremost to be a human being with compassion and concern. There are no limited time in the cabinet. Other ministers, other representatives who are in there would say, Prime Minister, I'm tired of so and so and so. It bring a politics in and the thing, and they do this and they do that. I need to get rid of that person. And Prime Minister would say, we don't know government for that. So if he's breaking any rules, if he's doing anything, there's a procedure. We're not going to stay in cabinet and make a list of people and do it. When there was a change of government and they fired a lot of people at DFC, because the previous government had stocked up the place with political appointees, they sent them home. And two of them gone to the Prime Minister and complain how they lose their job, they know in a no then this, that, and that. Prime Minister make they take back everybody. You give trouble, you deal with that person who give trouble. You don't start to pick out people, him on UDP, him against the government, him because that's not a way for run our country. Maximum respect to Said Musa.
Indeed.
I want to tell you this is a simple thing in 2 minutes time. I passed the Queen Street police station, and when I'm getting ready to turn one lady, they holler my name, because I drove with the window down. By the way, I'm the only minister in the history, I believe, that my driver was a female. For years, I have a female driver. She's going to retire shortly. When I left, I asked Prime Minister, and he arranged for her to get a job as a driver at the BDF. And of course, she suffered all the slings and arrows. Oh, you're this. Oh, you must be playing with Dicky. Oh, you're all kind of thing. And so she's going to retire shortly. And I'll bring up another matter right now. So I'm the only one that for years I had a female driver. And I explained to her and I explained to her man when she had asked for the job. And I told her, make them come to my house, and me and my wife, and I talked to them, darling, this that ever happened to you. Because out here, Crawford, you say they see a Crawford from the Battle St. George's when they're done with you. And I tell them, man, you want to hear this, you want to hear that, you want to hear all kind of thing. I'm not short of woman, so I'm not happy to take somebody else woman in the good old days. So they laugh. So let me tell you, I'm passing the Queen Street police station and somebody they holler. And then they holler something, I can't get you or the other media. My mother had never one day, from then a tiny baby till when she left this earth, never one day called me Richard. I named Dicky Bradley. That is my legal name. I named Dicky Bradley and I have no middle name. I named Dicky Bradley. I have a son with a lawyer named Richard Bradley. When they praise me that I win a case and he win case. So the lady hollered for me, so I stopped and I said, yes, man. And so he tell me how her son was in the lockup for 3 days. And when they tell her that they are released in the morning and they come and the lead boy come by the gate and they grab her and they carry her back and when they got asked at me, he has spent another 3 days. The Constitution of Belize, the Independence Constitution up to that time, said that the police could detain you for 72 hours. But you must be charged and taken to court. The police don't do that. They just lock you up, which is illegal and unconstitutional. So I went in and I found out and they told me that when I got to cabinet later on in the morning, when you don't do the official thing, we go around the cabinet table, you raise up any matter you want. It's one of the matters I had on my list. I follow George Price, I kept a notebook and I write down the things and whatnot. It's one of the things I had there and I brought it up. And Prime Minister Syed Musa said, what, they still do that? Meaning hold people for 3 days, let you go hold you again and so on. Nowadays what they do, they shift you from police station to police station. When they carry on a Belama, when you are Belama, we don't know nobody by the name there. Hey mom, nobody by the name They got you all around the place. It's a worthless country. We need a Fidel Castro. We need to line up people and shoot them, you know. The only way we can solve this problem, you know. So, right there and then in the cabinet, the Prime Minister of Belize, I think it was Francis Fonseca, who was the Chief of Staff. He said, so and so and so and so, and he said, make them do. And they amended the Constitution to put the police can detain you for up to 48 hours. And you must be taken to court.
So it changed from the 72 to the 48.
Yeah, easy as that. And I could give you dozens and dozens of examples. And I want to say, while he is still alive, I have the greatest respect for Syed Musa. Make mistakes, he could have been much more a stronger person. He had to, have it in to trample upon people. So that when traitors turned up, he just never have that killer instinct for deal with them. But as a human being, I have big respect to the man. Big respect, man. I wish he would speak up. The other day I'm talking to his son, I wanted to get a message to him. I went and visited Syed Musa, His brain is still excellent and whatnot, but he says he needs to do some more therapy with the matter of walking. He had a stroke, for those who don't know. That's a 2-time Prime Minister of this country.
Indeed.
Not only 2-time Prime Minister of this country, this business will spare Syed Musa Assad. They have been putting out publications after publications in their radical days. They played a big role in helping to defeat the People's United Party when there was no political party that could challenge them. People don't know, George Price was such a great man.
So then, before we take the break, and matter of fact, let's take the break, then we'll be able to prolong this.
I'm trying to find...
We'll talk to Dicky Bradley after we come back from this break.
Dicky Bradley, the boat captain.
Come to banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At banquet where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Benquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Benquip Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and we are trying to get to some subjects that we originally planned to talk about.
Because of one more thing. Let me indulge me.
I have no problem, brother. It's all relevant.
You brought me out in the middle of a storm.
Yes.
Late last night, one massive, quick rainstorm coming through the city, too.
Yes.
Why?
Right up to this morning. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, I wanted to just... let me make this note.
All right.
There were no tumblers in the tent parade yesterday.
Yeah.
There's usually some country add young men then who could do gymnastics on the street.
Yes.
I guess they can't get no sponsor, they never had no leaders. In the good old days, in our time, recently, like maybe 10 years ago, Manitou and Irks were fantastic tumblers.
Yeah.
I think Manitou, Irks is struggling. Manitou, we spoke, I think last year he was out at Keycap, another keys there, trying to make a living, because black people, they're under pressure, Can we segue and talk about black people 2 minutes? Can you indulge me? First, let me say this because you say like, you were there in your and so on. I want to tell you this. Me personally, I built a college. I built a high school. I drove to Belmopan and spoke to Mr. Michael Price. I think he was probably the older brother, but the brother David Price, who was a union activist and a big contributor to this country. He passed away, and we don't remember people. Yes. When you're dead, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But Michael Price came out of retirement. He was principal at Comprehensive School to be the principal of St. Michael's College, which was situated where the hostel used to be, which is still there. The foolish politician, they changed the name because they don't want it to be associated with what I had done. I put in a swimming pool. I sat down one night and wrote out the proposal for Baron Bliss money for $90,000 to build a swimming pool. There was a functioning swimming pool. All it needed just one pump, It's right there, neglected.
It's a great idea, and it fell apart. And it was the only such recreation on the south side of Belize.
Yeah. See, there they catch rainwater. So I think
that was a terrible drop through.
I did over the field, which Dubu Thomas used to be the caretaker. We completely green up the field and put fence. It was not fenced in, and put bleachers. Guess what? Thanks to Fidel Castro, Belize was offered medics.
Yeah.
I was the first one. I used a Cuban doctor and housed her where hostel used to be, and we had a hospital there.
Yeah.
And every Friday afternoon, Marina will come, who's a nurse. Marina and the doctor would walk the Queen Square area, which was neglected by Dean Barrow terribly, and help the elderly who can't come out and somehow have diabetic and they need the help with their feet and so on. Every Friday afternoon, I had a dentist called Megs would come from Orange Walk and spend a whole day at the clinic, which is the office for somewhere there.
Yes. I remember the doctor who owns the Sinai Clinic now.
Right.
Was the dentist that was there
at
also.
One time. Yes.
Also
Yes, man, you can do so much. We can do so much if we spend time with people and find what happened with them.
You're saying that the thesis of my question basically was what causes ministers to change their story from the way they used to campaign to when they become ministers, they all of a sudden you can't get.
Well, the pressure on one human being as a minister who is also a representative in an area, there was enormous pressure which we are not allowed to appreciate.
You took the job.
I understand
and
that.
You know the job.
I'm starting from there.
All right.
That is not like they just sit down there idle and cell phone. So being a minister, every minute of the day you get called, you get this and pressure. The other thing I think is that there's not a structured approach. Because what is happening is this. And I saw this and I won't call any name. But what is happening is this. I could never go on the street without people to bum rush you. They want this, they want it. It's like an ambulance, like one. Everybody want because a lot of poor people don't have no help. Let me say when I'll come back. Look at the opening of school. You know what the opening of school represents? If you could only get your hand on a school bag. You need a school bag. You need a school bag. Anybody I know A&R will be giving away school bag on Saturday. A&R can have enough school bag, 5,000 people and turn up. Like when Jesus word declared that you could get and eat fish and could get and Johnny cake, you know the crowd about most Jesus. After that, Jesus talk and then go up on the sailboat. You can't, that crowd because we are, that is the culture that is going up here. Yeah? So let me...
Once it's free.
Yeah. So let me say this. We need a structured approach. The people in the country need to know this, that every Wednesday, your elected area representative, they belong to an organization, so the leader of that party can instruct them. You will be in your constituency office, which the taxpayers pay for that office, and the taxpayers pay for the secretary.
So are you saying then it's up to the Prime Minister?
Yes, the leader of the party and the government to make it happen.
The fall down was that George Price demanded it, and these leaders after George Price did not demand it.
Right. That's it. You put it better than me. Yes. So that's the first thing.
So the indictment is on the leaders and those within the cabinet who are conscious.
No, the leader of the party who becomes the Prime Minister.
Instruct you.
Yes. That is a public instruction.
So the fall down then
starts at the top.
Is on all those prime ministers who have been there after George Price that did not maintain that strictness.
No, Said Musa was very strict. Much time he tell me, Dicky, I know you have crowd and whatnot, but please, so I end up have 2 clinics. At their housing department, I refuse to make them give me an office. I had no office at housing department, you know. I borrow the conference room and I see people from morning till night. Christ, me leave myself and even eat good some days, many days. So the party leader who becomes the Prime Minister when that party is successful in a general election need to put out an instruction. Every elected area representative that they in this party and this government is to sit in their office every Wednesday.
Since
let me finish this.
I want you to stay on this subject.
Okay.
Since you know that basically it starts with us as citizens knowing our rights.
Okay.
That you work for us, for example.
Yeah.
We are still maintaining the British system. The systems that we got from the British is that UNO run we. And then when we, the locals, took over that position, we maintained that position of the British that UNO work for we.
Yeah.
And so we're still there, minister, rather than the minister coming to us and say, listen, I work for you.
Yeah.
All right, so
servant of the people.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, why is it that we had not embarked on that, even during Said's time, to empower people? And because we started that with SPARE, we started that with UBAD, we started way back to saying power to the people. That's what a mandala means.
Yeah.
Power to the people. But we never realized
the structure
power to people.
Yeah.
We always, and up to now, we still maintain that power is in the elite's hand.
Yeah.
And so we, the people, still afraid, I know I get this, I know I get that. So the question is, why has it taken so long, and what is the reluctance? And can any one prime minister, you give the impression that George Price was able to do that, but any one prime minister is able to say to these people, look here, we want to re-educate, we want to turn this thing around. We've taken several attempts to try to reform the system. We did it in 1999, now we're in the process of still doing it again. But we still the turn around and still at the same spot where we start.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it up to you.
All right. Make we examine this because this is so important. Yeah. There are 2 things. There is the party structure and there is the governmental structure. When you swear in as a minister of government, which they don't follow, they need to go to jail. You swear on the Bible. If you don't believe in a God, you affirm. And one of the things you swear to Almighty God in the presence of witness is to uphold the Constitution and the laws of beliefs and to do right without fear or ill will or favor. Everyone. They don't do that. First of all, they don't really believe in a God. They just say, yes, I do, and then see sign and so.
Okay.
So there's a structure. Yeah, but there's a structure. Okay, so we need that structure in 2 forms in beliefs because we have no culture of following structures. The Prime Minister, who is both the leader of the party and the leader of the nation, 'n' and the leader of the nation and the government, can say publicly, 'n' and 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 on the first day of October, every minister of government is to be in their constituency office. Now remember, there are two things. There are area reps and there are ministers of government. I used to go way to Donegal and meet Mr. David Mackay, who was a soldier of the revolution in George Price days. And he would say, Mr. Dicky, if you could have helped these people here with this, if you could have helped. Cordelia Avila, who was a finance officer, would go with me. And she and Dave Mackay, I ran City Cat. And the pressure from Belize City pressure enormous. We talk about thousands of great-grandchildren of slaves who have nothing. Our people have nothing, you know. I wish I get a chance to talk to you about the people who have nothing and yet they are so powerful. But they have nothing. Every little help when they could get, every little hustle and could hustle, every little work when they could work. They have to do it. Every little crime when they could do, they do, because that's the only way I could survive. We are the black survivors. I know we're under stress, I know we're under serious pressure, and some are let down with others and so, but we are the blacks, we have survived. We survive. So, you need a structure. The nation need to be told they will be in their constituency office from 8 to 5 o'clock. Who wants to stay to 6 and 7? Fine. We, the public, pay for that out of we hard money. We pay for the office, we pay for the secretary, we pay for the light and water, we pay for the air condition, and we pay for the minister, who is well paid, both formally and hustlingly. So you say that, and you make sure that they have paid, and you keep a record. Mr. So-and-so come because you have a problem with so-and-so.
Yeah. Who monitors them, by the way?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll come to that. You have a responsible person who has been elected and a representative.
Okay. You hope that he has the conscience to follow where you say, well,
God. No, there are two things.
Who's going to monitor him?
All right, there are two things.
Okay.
In Jamaica and in Britain, they have an ombudsman for administration. For administration. There's a guy who is doing nothing in the government service. I wish I could call his name, and maybe it's unfair to that, but he can be put in charge of reporting to the Prime Minister every 2 weeks that these are some of the things then that come up.
You're saying the role of an ombudsman?
Type ombudsman type thing without all the flourishing. By the way, the present ombudsman, the law for ombudsman requires that he be paid the level of a judge. They don't pay him the level of a judge.
I can't understand. They don't even call him an honorable. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir, good morning.
Inquiring minds wants to know, has the redistricting process started and who is doing it? You have any info, Dicky?
Excellent question, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The Constitution, I believe, is very, very clear. No need to be no liar to know what that says. That all the constituencies in the country, I believe, should be about roughly equal. You can't have some that 10,000 voters and some that 2,000 voters. And so, Enriquez.
Yeah.
It's a name that probably comes from Jeremiah, the great prophet.
Yeah, so he's got
but
that
Jeremy
kind of
Enriquez
vibe.
has tried a thing, and the system tried crush him for it, and he will be forever hated by the PUP and the UDP for trying to stand up to something which is elementary in any democracy. So, but the bottom line is that this matter has gone to court on certain matters and technicalities, and then there was a big mistake because they agreed. They make another mistake they made, sir, is that they make Mr. Ashcroft get involved in the matter.
As an interested person.
Yeah, they should never have done that. And then he bring one so-called expert from somewhere and put in a Atlanta report. And when you check that expert, because in America, in the United States of America, gerrymandering is a big thing by the Republicans. They're always changing constituencies to win. So, sir, the court matter crashed for technicalities, but the Prime Minister of Belize, who we are discussing right now, the Prime Minister has said to this nation publicly, he wants that matter straightened out within 1 year. That's big, that is huge. He probably should have done it from the beginning, but he has done it. And we give respect where it is due. Now it's up to us. The media, which speaks to thousands of people, the media has to put that on their list to see how it is progressing. Who's responsible for it? Because No politician wants it to happen except the one that got a big constituency with 10,000. They would love if you only deal with 5,000 people, because we're talking about coming to the office every Wednesday and dealing with the people who pay you. You get so big and important that you don't have to go see the people anymore. They meet you up on the street, you always hurry and so on. Send me $50 and get out of my face and so on. So we need a proper structured approach, because this is a poor country struggling to live a little better life. So, Nuri Mohammed, if the Prime Minister publicly announces that the People's United Party passed a resolution or said this at the executive meeting and this is what will happen, people will know. And you will know when your representative not turn up on Wednesday or come on 2 hours and gone, you get and call the media. You got the ombudsman who will deal with administrative and political matters, you could call and so that it is exposed. It is exposed. By the man, then they start off good, they come all morning, no, then they come 1 hour, no, then they call and say they can't make it, and then secretary hug you up and treat you like with the thing there and so on and so.
So you need something like an ombudsman looking over and ensuring that
the party could do it.
We got to take a break, but when we come back, we will deal with only Budna.
Oh my goodness.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
was an exciting conversation this morning.
In the break, you mean? The break is more exciting.
Yeah, we should keep this going. Anyway,
all right.
We would like to thank Brother Dicky Bradley here. And he's covered so many different areas, and we appreciate it because this is what we need. We need an open, down-to-earth conversation about how we are governed. You remember that book that we had years ago called How We Are Governed, where we need that republished and updated. Anyway, we want to look at what happened in this scenario of Budna. Now, you have a legal mind, but you also have a very artistic mind that can put things in a way that ordinary people can understand. Let me put the scenario. Here you had a man, and I'm not talking about his reputation and the way in which we idolize this guy, unfortunately. The fact is that he was taken out of this country illegally. If he was wanted by the Guatemalans, could there not have been a legal process by which we say, since you are wanted over there, we are legally taking you and placing you over there as a good courtesy to the Guatemalans, right? Why is it that we had to create this clandestine, secret, we don't know the who, implications of even the government in order to take a person who is a felon back? And now the blow-up that has taken place, personal attacks on the Prime Minister, personal attack on the Commissioner of Police, personal attack on several other individuals, that it has become a different story than where it originally started. If it was as simple as this man is wanted by Guatemala, we are picking him up and placing him at the border, everybody to see that. Why are they put on there? Because he's wanted and we want to make sure that our relationship with Guatemala remains intact. Why all of this when we could do that?
Well, first of all, from the legal point of view, you will note that nobody in officialdom has said that there was a request for Mr. Budna to be returned so that he can serve out his punishment. He was sentenced to prison for a long time in Guatemala for kidnapping. He's a victim of the very same kidnapping. People who believe in God in a kind of wrong way will say, you see, you're going to kidnap, no, we get what they do to people. So there's no official statement that Guatemala has expressed to Belize, you are holding a person who escaped from our prison, you would like him back.
Which is very interesting.
Guatemala got good enough to remember. Guatemala got about 15 million people, and the least of it, they have a big system over there, so that is missing. The second thing is, no nation can pick up their own citizen and throw them into another country without going through a legal process. Ordinarily, the legal process is that that country makes a formal request. The word used in the law is that that person be extradited, meaning he is legally given an opportunity to test the request, and if he does not succeed in a court, he is not sent. If it's successful, as has happened here, Anthony Sylvester, who is now the Attorney General of our country, has been extremely successful in pushing back on wrong requests, faulty requests, unlawful requests, and has helped a lot of Belizeans from not being extradited to the United States. Even the mighty United States, they go through the procedure.
Yes, they did.
All right. So Belize and Guatemala, we do not have an extradition treaty. Once it could have happened when we were under the British, because all the British dominions and territories and colonies would fall under the law of the motherland. That is no longer the case, certainly not with we and Guatemala. So that then there is not a legal procedure for Guatemala to say, here are the court transcripts, here is the result, this person has lawfully and properly been found guilty of a crime in our country, he has escaped, we are making a request if you could kindly return him. Yeah? There is nothing like that. It's not available. So, in terms of a legal procedure, there is none. So then the question is, who, since Guatemala is not asking, who would want to throw Budna out of the country? It's the first question. Because Jules Vasquez, may long his name be called, big respect, he's perhaps the foremost journalist.
Of Belize.
No, muckraker is not a good word.
It is a good word. Huh? I'm asking you to go and look up the original use of muckraker.
Well,
it meant those who challenged the system.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, go and look at the original.
You're raking up muck.
Yes, Jack Anderson was one of America's big.
Guess who was in the news yesterday? Oliver North. Oliver North married to the girl who was secretary. Belizeans don't, why we don't know a lot of things that me and you would know.
Okay.
But Oliver North was selling guns and then taking, so he sell guns to guess who? The Ayatollah of Iran. Not guns, and they sell serious weaponry to an enemy of America. But remember that the Gulf states then they're washing the money. So he's selling guns and then they take the money and then they buy mercenaries, people who could go and overthrow the government in Nicaragua.
And the drugs, and took that up. That's how we the whole crack.
Yes,
anyway,
started in LA. Yeah, but can you imagine that? So Oliver North is back in the news. He's basically the fall guy for serious people in government.
Iran-Contra.
Yeah, the Iran-Contra thing. In fact, Ronald Reagan, who is like Donald Trump. Reagan sent a cake to the Ayatollah Khomeini on his birthday. Well, and they tell the public we need to bomb and kill him and destroy him. So, my boy, you know.
Carry this back.
The hypocrisy of these people. So anyhow, there is no legal procedure for Budna. So Budna is here in Belize. He escaped. He's so stupid, he started getting himself in trouble. He run afoul of the law in several situations. In fact, the people who miss the point that if it is the state of Belize that is behind what we saw on that video, is behind what Jules Vasquez with a lot of help from inside. There are people in there not happy with government and not happy with the commissioner and not happy with how things are going on. He didn't just get that tape right so. He might wake up one morning and stretch and do the exercise because he skip a lot and he shadow box and so, you know, Jules fit, you know. You watch me. You watch me suspiciously. So then let us clear the part that there is no legal request for demand, there is no interest expressed by Guatemala to us. There is, you and I know, that a shadowy organization which is called Intelligence, Belize is so stupid they follow America and they make up one thing near the National Security Council. They have put it as a legal body, you know. Instead of that just be cabinet has appointed persons to advise, they put it as a legal body. So America is behind that. So America take one of the best man who used to the Coast Guard and put him in charge of that. You know the Americans more than I, because you lived in the belly of the beast. All right, so there is no legal process. No nation, unless you're like Russia and China, and now the United States, because they're as bad as Russia. There is no democratic country that can take its citizen and dash them in another country, especially a hostile country, especially a hostile
So what
country.
happens now legally? We know what process is going here. The commissioner has been put on 45 days leave. There's still an investigation that's supposed to be done, but that's the Belizean side. Obviously, the Guatemalans say, we don't got nothing like this. We got the man. We know I'm getting on and I want to solve that.
No only got the man could phone every day.
The man, this is the next area.
No,
How
because
do you compare their legal system with ours when you know you could not get that if you land a Belize City prison? You don't get no access to Facebook, access to
you know, I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Please get yourself in trouble, sir.
Let me start.
We need to understand what's
Let me
going
start
on
out
there.
by. Let me start out by
The
telling.
man they on Facebook in prison.
That's
serving time for kidnapping.
That's a new world that we now have access to the internet.
I've never seen any Belizean man or
No,
woman
because
in the
Nuri,
prison system like that.
make I start there, but I want to segue out a mischief. Everybody praises up the young lady who has won the Queen of the Bay. Because normally, no Queen of the Bays or beauty contests attract a certain amount of controversy because people prefer this candidate to that candidate. There's no She's a wonderful person, got a good personality and so on. So when I was being told yesterday that they are crowning the Queen of the Bay, which the whole process is stale and you don't attract young people and whatnot. Because by the way, colonialism is steeped in that thing. We're still going to have soldiers and mass and you do so on. They're not like coming to America where you could say, open the gate, the governor house or niche house or wherever it is, and in come 50 Creole, they dance and do their thing and this and no, this is like say colonial fool, except that it's not white men in uniform that believes people in uniform. It's saying stupidness, you know. They look on the guards, they salute. That's the colonialism. But let me just say out of my mischievous mind, you want to get attention? Let's have a queen of the gays. You crown the two of them. You crown the queen of the bay, you crown the queen of the gays. But
you're taking my show in a different direction.
Let's go to your question.
Yeah.
Your question is that
how can we justify in this day and time that Guatemala does not ask us for the return of an inmate?
Yeah.
But we, in a clandestine way, nobody want to take responsibility. Police said, I know we. Government said, I know we. Then who?
No.
Then an investigation comes, but the investigation...
There's no investigation.
The investigation that we are publicly being told is not complete.
No,
then we're being showed by the scenario created by...
the tape.
By the tape, that in fact this is something that actually happened, and it happened this way despite the fact that you got them grainy looking.
That is only that copy.
Yeah,
the originals.
No, I'm saying it's there, but my point.
You could
is
see no.
I'm saying what is in the public eye.
Yeah.
Is that obviously something did happen? The police were involved, but we can't see any kind of complicity on the part of the police. Say yes, we people was involved in it. Is a denial there. So what scenario? Because we're short in time. What scenario are you seeing unfolding out of this particular situation?
Let's say where we are. First of all, big respect to Bakia, to Creme Television and Radio. Because a number of social partners, the network of NGOs, the Chamber of Commerce, the trade unions, the workers' unions, the 3 universities which are also silent. Silence is complicity, you know.
Yeah.
People who are silent in the face of these grave errors and wrongs are by their silence complying and are complicit. So big respect, Krem, Mose, you have said it is in the interest of the nation that we see the tapes. It is in the interest of this nation that there be an independent investigation.
Clearly.
None of those requests are outrageous or they are wrong or they are pig-headed or they are anti-government. They are not. This matter is being badly handled. What the Prime Minister has done to a humble Belizean from outside like me, who, by the way, when you introduced me, say Dicky Bradley, the boat captain. I know to handle a boat on the seas. Dicky Bradley, liar. Anybody could be a liar. Not anybody can be a poet or a writer, which is what I had wanted to be, but anyhow. So, listen, what has been requested, it's no weakness on the government to say, we are releasing the tape today. Media houses and NGOs who want to see copies, get in contact with number so and make it available to you.
But what about the fallout?
Well,
because there's been so much denial in the process.
Let's come there.
Like that
let's come there.
Be...
All right, but you are presupposing that the government is in fact involved.
No, I'm saying that from the from the very beginning, and I'm suggesting what you're saying, that it was obvious that an independent investigation would be far better than waiting for the police to investigate itself and to come up.
Which they have not done.
Well, that's what
the police has not investigated this.
That's what is pending.
The police.
Then who is going to do it?
Hold on. The police have not investigated this matter. You know what is an investigation?
We know what
that you gather. No, talk to the public. Not you. You are very educated. That you gather information. That there is some information that somebody has committed a crime.
Yes.
That's all you need to arrest the person, you know.
Yeah.
They arrest people for less than that. So the police had the video from the day after the kidnapping. A month, half a month. Nobody has been arrested, my brother. They know who they're on the tape there. We see the police officer who apparently came from.
The man
there's no investigation, man.
Inside of the room is the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Why would the Prime Minister allow a stain like this, a stink like this, to remain hovering over his cabinet? If it was as easy as you just suggested, bring the tape, give it to the media, do what you need to do, etc. Whose head has to roll?
Which is where.
So what is the political crisis?
Yes, which is where
that from happening?
Yeah, which is where the conjecture, which is where the supposition, which is where the speculation, which is where that area is. If you don't want to do it, there must be a reason why you don't want to do it.
Precisely. And
so then let's look at it.
Let's look at it.
It is clear now that police officers were involved. It is kind of clear that the way the police officers are involved, they are in fact carrying out instructions from somewhere. Let us get up and decide we're going to attack Budna. So then, who is it? Where does the buck stop? Is it that the commissioner knew that they were going, his officers, they were going to grab that man and carry on Guatemala? Is it somewhere between the commissioner and down to some superintendent or so? Or is it that, like in British history, when a famous person said, "Is there no one who could rid me of this meddlesome priest?" So brother, they gone in a church and stab up the father in British history.
Yes, sir.
Beckett. So the question then is, the government has hurt itself in their mishandling of this matter, but they would rather be seen to be mishandling than to be exposed that in fact by instructions come. Because Jules has speculated that there is some evidence that they have offered the kidnappers promotions. That would clearly be an indication that they are trying to make sure they stay silent. Nobody get arrested, you know. They have the tape from the next day. They know who made out there. The club would not more than 14 times in their head. I don't know if they got something against Batty, but they made it beat up by Batty, because he supposedly is, sorry, on Batty man. So they know who was there. The officer who come out, you will notice it has to be police, because the officer who come out and would have seen, he know say ordinary citizens, the beat one man on the street and know him go for say, "Stop this right now. Talk out a gun and shoot, pow!" Or call headquarters, bring in reinforcements, and the man know they listen to me. No, he said that than the police. That's why he could casually turn and go back in. So one, there had been no investigation, nobody get arrested, no information. In fact, the commissioner left the country in the middle of the biggest scandal facing his department. He actually went to some event abroad. So then the question is people in the political directorate involved? Yes? Because now we're going to choose one long period of celebrations till the 21st. In fact, it's actually till the 22nd, because Monday the 22nd is a holiday. So rum on the drink, condoms on the sell, and sex on the happen. That's all we need to live. Remember Marley said, forget your troubles and dance. Forget your sorrows and dance.
Or just wait for the breeze and you'll blow over.
Well, you'll blow over. Yes?
But can something of this magnitude, and maybe I'm answering my own question here, can this blow over?
Yeah.
And how will it stay blown over when in fact it's so open-ended? What are we to forget? That Budna was picked up and taken over there? You know, Gawa group of people over there will love her. Love. I think most people are just offended by the way it happened, rather than the person that they are trying to say, bring back Budna.
Let's underline and underscore that point. We have to be very proud of Belizeans, because the majority of people stop you and talk, they stop me and talk. So we know that The majority of Belizeans, big respect to you, man, you have to know if you stay focused, right? The majority of Belizeans are offended by the very thought that the government is involved in what happened.
Indeed.
The majority of right-thinking Belizeans, they are offended.
But let's put the caveat.
There's always a but, no?
They are offended, but they say, boy, that ballet reputation.
Not all of them.
No, I'm saying there's a significant amount of people, and you see it on Facebook, and you hear the comments that people make, that they have almost, they don't want to say, chip on there, but it's like
no,
the
but that don't represent
the level.
No, don't spend time on that. That is not the views of people.
Well, I'm
right-thinking people in Belize are against it.
All right, I know I'm quabble about it.
You can't do anything about anyone. Nuri,
have people who think like that.
Yeah, but you can't do nothing about that.
Significant.
Yeah, but you can't do anything about that. Yeah. Listen, there are people who actually they have gone so far as to say this. Some of them, a minority, that the sake we take off the queen off of the money. The Guatemalans, they know could come and do it in wine at the country. Then they behind the country.
I don't think it's crazy that people are saying that the level of
involvement.
The level of the feelings that a lot of people have, not only towards Budna but towards that behavior, is what caused a lot of people to say. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who have put it out on Facebook. That's good for them.
Yeah, but you don't have that in the
society. To understand the significance of what has happened, that this not got nothing to do with Budna, the personality. It has to do with you cannot extrajudicially do that to any one of your citizens.
The majority
it could be you. It could be that you're so controversial that they want to get rid of you.
Yeah, but but the majority of the right-thinking people in Belize don't have that view. They know Budna, a wicked man, an evil man, they deserve whatever happened to him in their view, but they also know something deadly wrong.
Absolutely, you don't do it.
This is what Belize is descending to.
Yeah, you don't do it like that.
Yeah, so that is good. And people like Janelle Shanona and Dr. McKay and many persons who have publicly said it is better that we have an independent investigation, kudos to them, because there are those who keep silent. Even in the media, you would think normally all media would not have a problem to say a matter of that nature, where there is speculation that the government has to be involved, because if the government is not involved, there are some drastic changes that have to happen in the police department. Something gone wrong that we could see from a video. A horrible crime has taken place. Listen, kidnapping people knows me, come in the vehicle at the carrier of Guatemala, So where we are is this. Let's not overlook this. A senior ranking member of the cabinet has publicly said, I have no problem with releasing the videotapes. I have no problem in there being an independent inquiry.
Right.
That is major.
Absolutely. And that opinion is a strong opinion.
Yes.
Head of police.
And for him to say that, even though Belize people suspect that he know where to go on, he the hide thing. For him to say that,
he's clearing himself.
Negates that I am not culpable in this matter. Yep. I'm not afraid of an independent investigation.
Respect, Kareem.
Big respect must be given there, and big respect to all those who are saying, government, this is a matter that needs to be publicly investigated. I want to make mischief and mention this to you.
Okay, this got to be the last point.
Yeah.
All right.
A senator is suspected of having taken the port of Magical Belize. I like that picture back at you. The port of Magical Belize proposals and things which came to public attention, that a former minister had signed a contract in secret, which is giving that company in the tourist business or want to enter the tourist business millions upon millions of dollars of exemption. The people of Belize who suffer every day, get up and fight for their meals, would be deprived of hundreds of millions of dollars by that man signing that contract. The allegation and speculation is that a certain senator who is a lawyer drafted a very brief cabinet paper proposing to cabinet that this thing is good, let's go with it, let's have that thing, let's do this and let's do that and so on and so forth, drafted the proposed law to take to the House of Representatives so it can be godfathered. When that matter breaks, the public smell something is rotten in the state of Denmark when that matter come out. Nothing has happened to the former minister who signed the thing, you know. Because by nothing happening there, it means nothing will happen here. So now this is the situation. It reached a stage where it's agreed, the Senate have the authority under the Constitution that they can investigate wrongdoing. They may still be able to muster the majority for them to investigate this very scandal here. So they set up an investigation. So when time comes now, they send for that suspected senator. He's a member of the Senate. He was there when the vote is taking place. His government says, well, yes, the Senate can investigate. He goes and says, no, ask me nothing, I know the answer, nothing, and walk out. But before he does that, according to the speculation, let me use the word in big bold letters, allegations. Alligator, allegations. Allegations is, he's the man that sent that thing to cabinet. It's worse than that because the allegation is that he then tell the senators who are carrying out the inquiry, don't fool the go on, you know, because you say that's an important magical belief, an important thing that may bring investment to the country, not a good thing and money won't make, I know who the money I make for, but money won't make, so and so and so. That's a wonderful project. They are claiming he sold himself by that. No, let's go further. Suddenly out of the blue, the government buy the port. A very serious thing, and because we're tying it now to goodness illegal matter. The government buy the port for, the Prime Minister says 190 million. 190 million for buy that whole piece of thing where the rust thing in the sea, you could see the back of shell there. 190 million in a poor country where the struggle and stuff. Where the reason crime the way it is because what else can we do?
Resources.
Take your time with me, I know 9 o'clock gone. We buy the port. The unions, they see a paper, it's publicly known, of who will be the chairman of the government port, of who will be the members on the board. And you know, we have discussed board in the break, thanks to Cliff. That's a show by itself, a very serious matter. The people on the board are linked to the sailor firm for that senator. That they want to run for report. No, I want to emphasize this before I move on, and I will be brief. The former Prime Minister of this country, who got this huge monkey on his back, which he has been able to throw. He managed to do a pupa lick and knock the monkey head and the monkey run gone. He take over $500 million of taxpayers' money and pay one man for a BTL where they take away when no value more than 300 million. And the talk in the central bank is that one big fat payment, $500 million. No inquiry. The incoming PUP government not tell us nothing. They not say how much. They not say how much the government had to pay for legal fees, for nothing. They not tell we nothing. According to no, but the same thing with the port and with lawsuit from Ashcroft to the tune of $400 million. Now, what I'm leading up to. The then Prime Minister, who is now back in the private domain, says that they may come offer my government to sell that thing. That thing no value more than $40 or $60 million. What? You take $190 million of we money and buy something with only $60 million? The media and Belize need to check themselves, you know. The activists, the university people need to check themselves, you know. This is how a country goes down the drain, step by step by step. You take $190 million and buy, what are you going here? Bam, all of a sudden now we know here, this week we're gone, that they want to take $400 million and put it in the port. The port, that's one swamp full and one piece of pear. That's the port. Why don't I want to do anything like that? Don't we have more things on that? Why don't I want anything like that? People, the port of magical beliefs, this is black magic. Actually, it's green magic, money. The thing where they sell Jesus for money. $400 million going to develop a port. When right at Dangrega, deep water and excellent facilities for a port. Now it costs half, in quarter of that. Who is behind that? It's the port of Magical Belize is back. So like Chucky, it's like the Gremlins, we're back. Yeah, serious matters, you know. So now, the unions have an important role to play in Belize. They are highly suspicious of this. And I want to publicly big up a man named Dean Flowers. They don't like him, but he's an outspoken, brave person in a society where crush people who speak up. They want to try to destroy him. That's the way they happen. Okay?
Yes. Yep.
So they know where they go on. Then they watch where they happen. They're waiting for an opportunity. They may have to go to court to get some instructions and injunctions and so on. So now let's look at where they go on. This is the word, accountability. Who accounts to the citizens of Belize for when things are going wrong and for when they are going right too? Because let's not dump on the PUP. The PUP have done a lot of good things. They could do more. They are totally neglecting people now. We saw what happened in the Lee Baby, were hydrated. Could that happen? This is 2025. How could that happen? How could we at this late stage, I'm sorry to be jumping, but how could we at this late stage that the opening of school is about school bags? Jesus in heaven inspire somebody. Nuri, you know more than me. You've been in the prison system in the United States and you've been in the prison system in Belize. I know you know that if we put 50 sewing machines and get the material from Panama where it's cheaper, better yet from China, we could get them man and them woman in there to make school bags for we people.
Uniform and everything else.
Uniform.
Absolutely.
What is wrong with women? You find $400 million to go put in a pool. Let me tell you something. They can go to Saudi Arabia. They gone to Saudi Arabia and got $70 million where the same people there, the union said they are trying to get their hands on that money. You know. They try to get their hand on that money. No solar to go on. We don't put 400 million in there when there are some elementary matters, man. You mean public officers, police, the nurses, the teachers, the people who they make the country go from day to day. They can't get a decent salary. We can't insist that the people where they get $5 an hour get $7 an hour so they could fight. You hear the fight against inflation, against the cost of living, that disappear. But we will find $400 million to put in a port. We could put up the port for sale, you know. We could say you'll get 80 and the government and get 20 and we could sell the port easy. It's the only port for Belize. Saudi Arabia, I don't know if you do it, their money, they got trillions of dollars. We so short-sighted, we gonna ask them for 77 million. That's nothing. If we had asked for 700 million, we would have got it. They don't know if you do it, their money. Everybody, they run to the Ben Salman and they run to them people. All of them. So then, the issue is accountability. The cabinet has let down Belize. They should have insisted. We don't want to hear no report then. Who are, right away, Bart Jones, who is a good, decent man. Kind of soft, can't make decision, but he's a good, decent human being. When he put a head on a pillow, he wants to feel like I'm doing the correct thing.
Decent man.
Call and say, Bart, you see the tape? Who you are saying as a commissioner that you can instruct your superintendent, arrest this one, arrest this one, arrest this one. Let's start to arrest people right now. That is what I nearly brought. I was bringing book this morning just to highlight the need to have information. You know what was pushing out slightly? I wonder sometime, and I know God not involved. I wonder sometime. I have 4 books. Richard Nixon, he fell from office for minor things.
Yeah.
Richard Nixon, the president of the United States, was facing re-election.
For lying.
And he thought the Democrats would come with one of the Kennedys because the Kennedys were extraordinarily popular in that country at that time. And he wanted to know what the other side would do. So him, the Republican Party, the other side, the Democratic Party, he allowed that they broke in at the Democratic Party office, we go check see if they got anything to say, who won't be the rival against me. He won by an overwhelming majority. But the breaking in started to fall apart.
Crap.
And then it turned out that Nixon had one safe way, he got over $1 million where he could buy people. He paid one money. Don't tell me that those police officers, they are police officers. The one in uniform that comes there, he sees police officers, that's why he could turn around and not have no problem. No police can turn their back about people who beat one citizen on the street. So he see police and when they tell him, boy, this approved by so and so, you go check yours, you go check so and so. They tell him, you go check so and so. I was in a radio the following week when police tell me to go on my eye like, I know they hear this. I need to just call you and call Jules, you know. I don't need to go up and the person would have spoken, but then I would be jeopardizing that person. This is an extremely serious thing. I want to emphasize big respect to all those who have asked for an independent inquiry into this matter. What does that mean? It means you're going to find like Mr. Valdez, probably they don't know down Griga or down south. You'll find retired police officers who have been CIB, who have been involved in investigating. You're going to pay them correctly to do the right thing. And then they will go and talk to who to talk to. And who don't want to talk, we know what we can do with them because you can get charged for conspiracy to commit a crime, abetment to commit a crime. You're charged for perverting the course of justice. You can get it. They could try to bring all kind of outside people for Hamburg and Berlin now where it look like they can win a case because the police can't produce the evidence will show that it's not that man coming to that house. What a thing is that, eh? We could get to the bottom of it.
Yeah? I don't think people hear what you're saying is that Nah might get off. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Nah might get off.
His lawyer tells me certain things. I'm not at liberty to share people's things. But
that's a breaking story there.
The videotape, videotape is now the big thing, we got a videotape make the citizens of Belize know you can't trust the police.
Yeah.
And I am obliged to say this as I leave you and thank you for inviting me. And did I say this on air that when you introduce me, please say captain of a boat?
Yes.
A long line of seas.
And call you Dicky, no Richard.
Well, what's in a name, Shakespeare says. But let me say this. I think I'm duty bound to mention this. And a time will come shortly. The 13th Amendment being proposed to put into the Constitution that the police will have the authority to make up a list of people who get trouble and whatnot. We see what the 13th Amendment is all about with Budna. That officers of the state can come and pick you up. And if you resist, they're going to beat you. And in this particular case with the 13th Amendment, they can't use state emergency because a court has said what many courts have said. You're abusing the state emergency. The very government is abusing the law.
To change
Nuri, let's end on this. To try to put in the Constitution that agents of the state can pick we, the citizens, up with no charge, without going to no court, and take you straight to jail, where they will put you in a place called the hole, where you can't get no visit, you can't get no phone call. Budna is in unbelievable thing. Budna in a Guatemalan jail and he could take selfie, he could interview himself, he could talk to the media that believes.
And we used to say, boy, at least another day in jail, you got Guatemala.
Just show Cliff how low we are.
Worse than us.
Just show how low we go.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something here. I want to quote Syed Musa with malice towards none. They need to put the police under a different minister. They need to take the minister who did a hospital, who is doing a good job, who is open and so. I know the party man is subject to party. They need to put the police and that prison under a different minister. And I leave you with that and thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate that. That's a bombshell you're leaving there, which requires a little bit more discussion. I wonder if we shouldn't bring this man back
I'll not be the one to discuss
for a conversation. Anyway, we finished with our breaks, right? Okay, we have one more break.
I hear a voice at the back here. Who is that?
That is the one and only. We'll take that break and we'll go back.
Listen.
No, you don't get
I know they say nothing. I know they say nothing.
All right.
I want to ask her when I get a chance to show the Chinese lady where they dance.
Oh,
Chinese don't dance in public. The Chinese is on the video dancing.
Hi, friends.
So if again a chance, squeeze that in and put her dancing the night away.
Let's take the last break and we'll be back to close off.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Grey air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Welcome back, and we have just enough time to thank our guest, attorney Dicky Bradley. I'm going to say Richard Dicky Bradley because that might be assumed to be his son that I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about brother Dicky Bradley. We would hope that he would come back tomorrow, but I know that his schedule is such that he may not be able to, but let's hope that he can, because I have a number of other questions, really more focused on the Budna affair. We dealt with a lot of other important issues today and didn't touch the Budna affair, which I believe that there's still some points to be covered there. So if he is able to make it to tomorrow, or I believe it will still be alive next week, Thursday, then we'll continue it then. I want to thank Mr. Bradley for him being here. I want to thank the crew. Alexi Belide was our engineer this morning. Mr. Clifford Lewis, of course, is there always in the background. And downstairs we had Larry Guerrero. Belizeans, stand strong and stand firm and do the right thing. For now, we gone!
Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling, be yourself, see yourself, this is the sound of people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a nation. We are